Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum all of you. I am Fiza Gohal, class number 1. I hope that you will be doing well. Today I am here to present the topic paragraph writing. So here are the contents of a paragraph writing which I will explain one by one. What is a paragraph? So a paragraph is a block of sentences within a larger piece of writing, and this piece of writing could be fictional, an essay, an article, or any other piece of written text. Most commonly, a paragraph will be used to discuss a particular theme within the writing. So if you want to write a paragraph or you want to discuss a paragraph about animals, then you might use different paragraphs, each individual with each individual animals you are talking about. So with each paragraph you describe where you are standing and the point the direction for your reader to make sure they complete the journey to your conclusion. Now coming toward the next one, so what is a paragraph used for? As we have discovered, the paragraph is used within a larger body of writing to separate ideas and themes, but there are rules that need to be followed when writing one. So the first one is specific thought or idea. So each paragraph within the writing is used to discuss a specific thought or idea. Mixing up ideas and thought should not be done in one paragraph. So if you want to discuss a new thought or idea, then you should start another paragraph. Then begin with indentation. So each paragraph will always begin with indentation to signal that it's the start of a new paragraph. Then, when writing non-fiction works, a body paragraph is one, and which appears anywhere between the introduction and the conclusion of the piece of writing, and is usually constructed in a particular way. Then topic sentence at the beginning. So the topic sentence will always appear at the beginning of the paragraph. It's basically will give the reader an idea that what the paragraph is about, and it should not be too long or over explained, but should be broad enough to explain clearly of the topic to the reader. Then main bulk of the paragraph are supporting sentences. So within the main bulk of the paragraph, the author will write supporting sentences which are used to lay out the ideas and thoughts that the paragraph is being used to talk about. Then final sentence as a conclusion. So the final sentence will should always be used as a conclusion because it's the wrap up of the paragraph, and if necessary lead into the following sentences. Then use transition words. So if each paragraph should ideally use transition words as a way of linking thoughts and ideas to one another, then providing all the information. So a paragraph should provide all the information that the reader needs to know and should never leave the reader with the sense of incomplete knowledge. Then the next one is how long should a paragraph be? So there is no set rule for how long a paragraph is allowed to be, but there are suggestions that a good paragraph should not exceed 5 sentences. And there are certain things that each paragraph should adhere to. So the first one is unified. Each paragraph should adhere to it. So a paragraph should be unified, meaning that each of its sentences should relate to one controlling idea, which is quietly commonly shown in the topic sentence. Then the next one is clearly relate to the thesis. So each paragraph should clearly relate to the thesis or the central idea of the piece of writing. Then the paragraph should be coherent, that each of the sentences organized in such a way which is logically making it easy for the reader to understand. Then the paragraph should be well developed, meaning that each thought or idea which is discussed should be explained adequately and be supported with data or evidence which help in explaining like the controlling idea of the paragraph. Now coming toward the next one, so how should a paragraph be organized? So it's like how you will organize your paragraph, and that will depend on the type of paragraph you are writing. The first one is narration. So the narration basically means to tell a story, and and that story based on a real or imagined event or a series of events, and that should be written in chronological order. Chronological order means that you will write each and everything from start to end. So let's take an example of narration. A man from North Carolina was met with quite the surprise last year whilst river fishing a piranha. He couldn't correctly identify it, but a fisherman nearby was able to. And so on. It's like the story he is explaining. The next one is descriptions. So the description is basically mean when we are describing something, and a description paragraph will give specific details which appeal to the senses, such as like how something smells, looks, tastes, feels, or sounds. The example of a description is: my mother is a tall woman with broad shoulders and a short cropped hairstyle. Often people mistake her for being male, and this irks her because she prides herself on her feminine rituals. It's like describing it how my mother looks. Now the next one is process. So the process paragraph is one like you are explaining each and everything like in steps in sequence. Like the first one is this, then the second one, and then the third one. So it is used to explain something in step, and it is usually laid out and organized as a sequence. Take an example of this. To prepare the sauce, firstly, then you should add the chicken stock to the pan along with 2 cloves of garlic. Then, secondly, after the mixture has begun to simmer, you should in the oregano and basil and allow the sauce to cook for 2 minutes. Then, finally, you can add some cornstarch and then pour over meat. So, these are the steps like how I did first, then second, and then third. Then classification. So this type of paragraph will explain the particular parts of the topic, separating them into groups. So here have a look over the example of classification. Like first dates are categorized as clingy, boastful, awkward, and successful. The successful date will be made up of both people expressing ideas about who they are, what they like, and so on. Then the next one is illustration. So illustration paragraph we usually use examples like how show the example can used to prove the author's point. A wrestler will put this is the example of illustrations. A wrestler will put in a lot of time and effort to be able to be considered to be great or even good. A wrestler will run 5 miles each morning and will lift weights with his team each morning. Then here is the example of a paragraph writing. Now you will be able to understand that how you will write a good paragraph. So it is a paragraph on child trafficking, and child trafficking is basically the smugglings of childs. It is a type of modern slavery, and it's like someone compel them to perform or do an act which is an illegal. So humans have reached a point of their greediness where they trade commodities, and now they trade children for money. So child trafficking is an illegal link that demands cheap labor in areas where the working conditions are poor, including slavery, domestic work, and forced into soldiers. So this was all about my presentations, and hope that you will be able now to how you will write the paragraph, and hopefully this will help you. So if you have any questions regarding paragraph writing, then you can ask. Thank you.